This is me, Soigne Deluxe, and I'm here with the fabulous Krys Fox, and today we were shooting for his 31 Days of Halloween horror series, and today he and I did Trilogy of Terror starring Karen Black and the Zuni Fetish doll. This is the Zuni Fetish doll. We named him Shasta.
For undisclosed reasons, but yeah.
So Krys Fox, so tell us about the series.
We did it last year for year 4. This is the 5th year of doing 31 movies, recreated in a kind of queer style, and done as little film stills. So yeah, we're like halfway shooting this year's entries, and this was special because your shoots are always the most fun.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. I laughed the most.
I know we had a great time.
This little guy did a really good job too. Yeah, so it was really special and fun. This year seems to be a little bit more obscure, a little bit more for the real film kind of horror buffs out there. So for those of you who have been following it for the whole 5 years, it should be exciting because you'll get some movies that a lot of the more basic horror fans aren't going to know, but you'll know, and it'll be fun.
So tell us about your history. Tell us when did you start taking photos?
My earliest memory of being a photographer was taking photos for like a 3rd grade film class that I did during the summer.
Can you be a little louder?
Yeah, like I took a film class in the summer when I was like in 3rd grade. And I had forgotten completely about it, but I got a Polaroid camera, and my mom had reminded me after I had my first exhibition when I was like 19, and I was like, oh my god, I was in a film class. So that was my first time doing it, but I've been shooting my little private moments forever, my whole life.
Oh, cool. And what photographers inspire you?
It's interesting, I find myself more inspired by, I mean, I love so many different artists in general, but I find myself most inspired by filmmakers more than photographers. Like that gives me that gives me a lot of inspiration. I can like watch something like Alejandro Jodorowsky or David Lynch or people that make surreal, dark, sexual, interesting, bizarre movies, and that gives me all these images that I want to make as a static image. But yeah, growing up, I think that my biggest photography influence was Nan Golden.
Oh wow, she has a big show at the MoMA right now.
Does she right now?
Oh yeah, oh my god, you got to see it. Yeah,
no,
it's great.
I didn't even know. Yeah,
you've got to see it. It's great.
I
Wonderful
met
slideshow.
her when I first moved to New York, and it was like one of the most magical things getting to meet her. And yeah, she was a huge inspiration when I was like a teenage photographer shooting kind of like homeless LA youth and club scene people and just people in my life and kind of things that were a little bit taboo, and people were like, oh, you're like Nan Golden, and I was like, oh, thanks, who's that? You know, and I started looking at her books and I was like, oh yeah, she's like me from 20 years ago. So, but now I feel like my style's kind of turned into its own little beast. But yeah, she was one of the earliest photographers. I was like, oh, I could be a photographer. Like,
okay.
It was inspiring, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of other photographers that you see like in magazines and things, that was like, oh, that's really glossy or kind of domestically sexy, and it wasn't interesting to me, so I was kind of like, oh, I'm so different, I don't know how I'm going to ever do this as a career. And then you see someone like that and you're like, oh, yeah, I can do this too, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And you are. So tell me, so why horror? Like what inspires you about horror?
I feel like it's weird. People have been asking me that now because I've been doing it for so long. Like this has been, this is the 5th year in a row that we've done this all month long, like this marathon. And I keep going back to it because there's like still things that I wanted to try to recreate that I haven't done yet. These challenges, so I'm like forcing myself to keep doing it. But I think that originally I was saying that like we weren't, as a group of people or as a community, weren't very represented in the genre, but so many people I know in the LGBTQ community like really like register with it. You know?
Yeah.
So it was like,
live for horror.
right? Like, and there's so many people like in my life are like that, and I was kind of like, well, then we need to be represented more. So, and it was like a fun project to be like, all right, how can we make all these iconic images like kind of sexier and gayer, you know? And for me personally, as an artist and like as a photographer, I like to capture emotion and capture these kind of moments that are not so static and still imposed, and that make you feel things. And I don't think any other kind of film to like do a homage to is more, makes you feel more than a horror film.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's a challenge getting people to scream and be afraid and make ugly faces, and like, especially in the LGBT community, getting gay boys to make ugly faces has been my biggest challenge every year. They're like, be scared, and they're like, so I'm like, be scared. But so it's, I mean, I think that's what keeps me bringing me back to it. It's really, really fun to do, and it's very
And we were
hard.
talking. We had talked before in our other interview that we did about gay horror directors. So let's name a couple so people know. James Well, who did The Bride of Frankenstein. Clive Barker.
Clive Barker, yes.
Alfred Hitchcock, maybe or no? I don't know.
I think he was like so straight, like beyond.
Oh, he was. Okay. Oh,
He was such a misogynist. Like,
yeah.
yeah, he was just like, hey girls. Yeah. No, but
Another one.
I mean, and Ryan Murphy now is doing you know, a lot of work in the horror genre, and he's better in television. But there's not really any.
There's not. They're out there doing it, right?
Clive Barker is awesome though.
No,
Clive
he's
Barker
great.
is totally like my ex-boyfriend is Clive Barker's boyfriend now, and apparently Clive Barker loves this series and is excited to see. And there's some new Clive Barker movies in the series this year.
Oh, there are
that
more.
haven't been
Well, because
in.
he's been painting a lot. You know, he's been painting. Yeah, he's kind of changed himself over to painting. I have to lend you something later that's cool.
And photography and he's so but his paintings are great. Like so so thanks for liking it, Clive. And and I hope that he likes the movie I'm doing this year of his. There's 2 movies of his that are going to be in the series that haven't been done yet. So far I've only done his Hellraiser stuff, so
wow.
get some new stuff.
Oh, great. And so what has been some of the challenges of doing this every year?
Keeping it fresh and keeping it interesting. You know, this year in particular, I mean, every year has its own challenges. This year's challenges was just in a personal way, it was a really, really hard year, and I've gone through more change in the last 6 months than or even the entire year, starting from like January on. Like my whole life has changed, and this was like a beast in the corner of the room that like it was like counting down to like, oh, these things keep happening, and it's going to be this sort of stressful time. How the hell am I going to do the Halloween thing on top of all of this? And what's weird is the last like couple of weeks, it's actually been the thing that kind of gets me charged up in the morning, like trying to figure out how to tackle it and still get it done. It's like, if I can do it now, then I can get through anything if I can do these movies too. So that's been my challenge this year.
And what are some of the fruits of your labor? Like what are some of the good things about what you're doing?
I mean, I've noticed this year, like for the last couple of weeks, I've been posting some of the series images from the last 4 years, and the attention to them has increased 3, 4, or 5-fold. So things that I don't think ever got seen are getting seen now. So I think that's exciting. Like there's a new kind of fan base, or there's a lot of people that are new that are kind of following the series and like are excited about it. So so that's validating. It's always nice to be like, oh, more eyes are seeing this, you know. So that's good. I have an exhibition this weekend for Gowanus Open Studios. That's all Halloween images.
Oh,
and
wow,
then
that's good.
I have my first Manhattan solo show in like almost in nearly a year and a half. 2 days after my birthday in November. So
that's great. Where's that going to be?
At Madam X.
Okay, I think I've heard of that.
It's on Houston. It looks like this like bordello-y spot, and they're gonna have my work up all throughout the winter.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's beautiful. It's a really cozy, sexy kind of red lit place that we're gonna turn into a gallery for the whole winter. So it'll be like sexy, dark, kind of edgy stuff. We get to be up there.
Bordello-y.
Some bordello-y kind of stuff. It's gonna the show's called Scorpio Rising, so it's my new show is gonna be soon, like in a month, and this stuff kind of really helps that.
Okay, cool. So what do you want people to know about your work, about your vision?
Be afraid. I don't. We have a lot of film stuff, like moving film stuff, and coming up. I got some new equipment and new cameras, and there's a script happening. So hopefully next summer we're gonna start shooting my first horror film.
Oh,
and it's like an original horror film that I can't really talk about yet, but it's gonna be good, and it's gonna be locally done. It's gonna be set in Fire Island.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
that's my big scary news coming up, and from what to look forward to. But
instead of Fire Island, cross out the I and R, make it Fear Island.
right,
Fear.
it's gonna be like, I want to make a gay-centric horror film that doesn't have anything to do with being gay, other than the characters all happen to be gay.
Oh,
And
I
I
like
want to
that.
make something very, very, very dark and that says something.
Right.
So it won't be campy. It might be funny a little, but it's gonna be it's gonna be disturbing.
Oh,
Hopefully
good. I like
it'll make
disturbing,
the community
yeah.
kind of get a little up in feathers and kind of like think about things a little, and I think that's important.
I
I
think
feel
so,
like
too.
this whole year has been a year of like, we've lost a lot of our like musicians that we look up to. I've lost quite a few friends this year, and you know, with everything from Orlando to like when I got arrested at Reese to these like Black Lives Matter murders, and these there's been fucking horrible things, and now there's Donald Trump happening, and there's more on top of more. And my venting way is to make art. Like when things get scary and fucked up and horrible, like it was like let's make stuff.
Yeah.
And so I just started writing, and I want to write something that touches base on all of that. You know, about, especially in our own community, the differences between race and the differences between classes
And body types and stuff.
finances, yes, and body comfort and all these things, and put it into the guise of a horror film. I feel like most horror films that we all look at as like these classic movies were all made in times of horrible unrest.
That's
like,
true.
Like Night of the Living Dead was made during, like, as a response to Vietnam, you know, and these things that was the first like black protagonist in the film, and what happens at the end, like he gets shot.
Oh, I know. He didn't get shot like that originally. They changed it.
Right.
Because they thought it'd be too shocking. Isn't it horrible? Like, he actually survived in the original and they changed it.
And they're like, oh no,
That's crazy.
So I thought like that was my response to all of this and the politics and the world and the police.
So
make more.
That's great. So let me ask you a question. So we're going to wrap it up. What is your favorite horror movie? Do you have one?
I do, but it changes. I like, well, I feel like the genres are also different. That it kind of that each genre kind of have my own favorite. Like I love Jaws is my go-to movie for comfort. It's like my chicken soup movie. I watch Jaws like a couple times a year. Halloween is my favorite slasher movie.
Oh, cool.
Rosemary's Baby is my favorite like psychological movie, and I like that movie better and better every year. And The Thing is maybe my favorite creature.
Wow. Okay.
Or Alien, maybe, but The Thing probably.
You know what?
And then The Shining is the most inspiring, I'd say.
Yeah, The Shining.
I can watch The Shining and see something new every time, and I feel like it kind of echoes my aesthetic the most. Like, kind of the visuals of it and stuff is the most kind of, like, speaks to me the most. So yeah, those are my faves, though.
That's cool. I think the one that disturbed me the most, I loved Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The remake was fantastic. It was with Donald Sutherland. At the ending was so scary. Like,
It's so good.
the ending was like sort of.
With everybody doing it. There's a B-side from our invasion shoot from last year where somebody's doing that, and I didn't think it really read enough like as its own image, and we did like the cocoon thing too.
Oh, you did?
That was so much cooler. But like, yeah, I think I'm gonna post that one up on my Instagram tomorrow. But like, it was like, but yeah, that shot looked just kind of like my model was having a stroke. But sorry, Brian. Brian's image looked really cute in the picture.
So that's one of my favorite. I like Alien. I think Alien's great because it mixed the genre so well, sci-fi and horror, like seamlessly. That was great. And so you know. So you have any last words to say to anyone?
Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for looking at my pictures. We'll keep doing them. If you keep watching them, I'll keep shooting them. And this shoot is dedicated to Karen Black. Rest in peace, girl.
Rest in peace, Karen Black.
Mwah.
We've been here with Krys Fox and it's 31 Days of Halloween.
Thank you much for watching.